Hey, y'all. It is Taylor Bridges here, back with another review of Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 15. This is episode 8, entitled Rollerstakes and Blind Dates. Please, y'all, like, comment, and subscribe to your girl's channel, because we are here, okay? Y'all, I think I've said this like two or three reviews in a row. Real Housewives, it's like mid. It's not horrible, but it's real mid right now. Like, I feel like nothing real is going on. Get to Drew and Ralph's marital problems. Like, what are we doing? Get to that. Like, fast forward. Let's get to that. Like, let's get to that. What leads up to the divorce filings? Like, let's go. Like, Marlo against Candy about what? Other than Marlo being a hater, like, that's getting old. Like, you know, like, what's going on? Like, there's no, like, organic beefs really going on that I could think of, and that's annoying. Drew is at home with her assistant. She's trying to show her assistant the moves she learned for her upcoming music video, and she was calling the song out to Alexa. Alexa almost was trying to play Drew. She was trying to play her by not recognizing that song initially, but she got it together. Not too much on Drew, okay? Drew is a very talented woman. And I know we like to poke fun at her for her lying and her bad wigs. The one that she regifted, like how she had the wig that she wore and tried to regift it at a white elephant Christmas party where everyone was given a gift under $1,000, and she thought somebody was gonna want to wear her raggedy wig. Yeah, we get on her about those things and her delusion in her marriage. Yeah, but we've all been delusional in relationships, so whatever. Drew is talented. So, you know, I really wish everyone would, like, take her seriously. Like, now this whole, as long as she keeps Ralph involved in her musical affairs, we're not gonna maybe take her as seriously, but talent-wise, Drew has it. She is. Now, I don't know if she has the it factor to be, I don't know. I don't want to claim that over her, so that's just my opinion, though. I don't know if Drew has it, or at least her approach to it isn't, I don't think, the route that's going to get her to where she wants to be. But she is a beautiful, talented woman. So, Alexa, you need to remember, you need to know who Drew is when somebody calls out her songs, okay? Ralph walks in the kitchen. Drew's mom and sister are going to be coming into town, and the sister, who used to be Drew's manager, is dealing with some mental health issues, and she's been dealing with them for several years. And apparently there's, like, her and Ralph got into it back in the day, and there's some leftover lingering energy between them. We find out that Ralph actually banned the sister from the house due to the sister calling Ralph controlling and manipulative, which is crazy because she didn't lie. Okay? And I think that Ralph will continue to throw away anyone that catches on to his BS because he doesn't want anyone to say anything that makes sense to Drew. Y'all remember, was it last season where Drew finally realized the definition of gaslighting? And she realized it was Ralph that was doing that to her? Because at first she was like, Ralph isn't a gaslighter. He's not a gaslighter. And then they read the definition in the confessional, and she was like, oh, this is like Ralph. Like, Drew is, pardon me, either she's willfully ignorant, I don't know what's going on, but, like, she's not easy to make sense to. Because, see, remember, she got over that whole Tampa mystery, which is not normal, like, at all. Like, we're all still stuck on Tampa. I ain't moved on from that. Like, that's it. Like, where were you? Where were you? So, I think Ralph is going to continue to throw away anybody that makes sense to Drew. That catches on to his BS and that could potentially make sense to her. Because he still has her brainwashed. I won't even believe they're getting divorced until it's finalized, because Drew has continuously shown to be blind to Ralph's narcissism, gaslighting, and manipulation. Sheree is asked in her confessional if her clothing line has made a profit. She's not, but we knew that. I know I keep saying it, but I am really disappointed with this mediocre clothing line. When Sheree has had ample time and resources to release something more unique and of good quality. Like, literally people who have a fraction of the resources, access, time that Sheree has spent on this clothing line have done much more. Savage Fenty just opened in like 2018 or something. Like, it's only been open for 5 years and it's already $1 billion company. Like, what? Like, the IG models be opening shops in their Instagrams, like, and be making $10,000, $20,000 a month. Like, what is Sheree doing for actual cute clothes? And then Sheree to like specialize in this athleisure, and for it to be just as basic as all get out. I'm just really disappointed. On a brighter note, because I know I keep saying Sheree is mediocre. Sheree is mediocre. I will say this. Sheree's two things about Sheree. I have to put this in here because, yes, I'm going to read these people, but I am a human. And I'm not as judgmental as maybe I might come across in my reviews. I'm not. So I will say this. Two things. One, Sheree's glam she's usually almost always up to par. Like, she is a beautiful, well-kept lady. Like, Sheree is a baddie on her worst day. She's a beautiful woman. Beautiful. She keeps herself up really well. And part of her, like, expensive taste, like, she likes the finer things. So she's always going to keep, the house is going to be nice. Her hair is going to be done. She's going to be wearing something nice. Like, I do appreciate that about her. The second thing I appreciate about Sheree is her motherhood. I think Sheree has shown to be an amazing mother, to the point where it seems like she will go without to give them the best life. Like, Sheree been having cars repossessed since season 1 of living above her means, right? But now that her kids are older, she has done a phenomenal job. She has always given them the best. It seems like she's always kept them in a nice house. She built Chateau Sheree with them in mind, and they did get to live there. Like, she does give mama bear, and I really can appreciate that about her. Like, that's a very attractive, aspirational trait. Because I said a couple videos back that Sheree didn't have aspirational traits, and she does. The way she keeps herself up, like, women be lacking sometimes. Men too, fine, right? But we're talking about women. Like, she just always looks, looks like she's bathed, cleaned herself. She smells good. She's moisturized, and she puts effort into her appearance, and I can appreciate that. And also just her, devotion to her kids. And I love seeing her excited about being a grandma. I think that's really cool. So I got some nice things to say about you, Sheree. It ain't all shade. It ain't all about your mediocrity. Sonya is there to catch up with Marlo. Wait. Sorry, before I get there, Marlo is on Instagram Live doing interviews around foster care and whatnot. I do love, high level, I do love that as a storyline. I just don't know if it's genuine coming from Marlo. That's the vibe I get. Like, Marlo just does not strike me as a genuine person. She just doesn't. Like, that's it. I don't like her. Like, she's not my cup of tea. And I am very apparent, I'm very transparent about those kind of people. Like, sometimes people, sometimes you don't even do nothing to you. They don't they're just not your vibe. Marlo's not my vibe at all. I've met people she's not my cup of tea. But she looked amazing in that brown catsuit. She looked phenomenal. These black women are beautiful. Okay, I love it. I love it. Sonya's there to catch up with Marlo. Sonya wishes the ladies could see the side of Marlo that she gets to experience. And what Sonya doesn't, I don't know if doesn't realize it or not, but Marlo picks and chooses who to be reasonable with and who to terrorize, depending on the season and how much she has to work for her check. She has no reason to come for Candy. She has zero reason to come for Candy. Zero reason to come for Kandi. If she had a valid reason, I would consider it. Because I don't even care for Kandi like that. So I'm not caping for Kandi. I'm not caping for anybody on the show. So I don't care for any of them like that. I think my favorite might be like Kenya. But I'm not even caping for Kenya because Kenya is very easily readable. So, right. Marlo is doing what she has to do for her check. So Sonya, Marlo can, if she needed to keep her job, she'd come for you next. Marlo has been set up on a date by her friends Ty and Justin. Are they a couple? I think they're a couple, right? Didn't we hear that about them being a couple? Like they're married or something like last year? The guy is Jamaican. So the guy that she's going to be going on a blind date with. So I was excited to see how this goes down. This went down. Marlo says she hasn't had sex in 4 years. And I don't believe it. But it doesn't actually matter. So though I don't believe her, I really hope she's not telling a pointless lie. Because like, it doesn't matter. Like if you having sex the past 4 years, it's fine. You're like a almost 50-year-old woman. In fact, you really don't even have to announce anything about how much or how little sex you've been having or not. I feel like you paid your dues. I feel like when you get on a blind date, you could tell him you've lived, and you've lived well, and that's all he needs to know. You earned your stripes, Marlo. You don't have to talk about your vagina miles at all. But I don't believe you. Somebody got to pay for that lifestyle. Kandi and Sheree are meeting up for what was supposed to be a walk, but Sheree is in heels, which is definitely some stuff Sheree would do. I don't think Sheree takes Kandi seriously. Like, I think the same with Kenya. Like, same with Kenya. Like Sheree, like Kenya and Kandi, I believe, especially Kenya, they're willing to be friends with Sheree, like real friends. And I think there's a disconnect. Like, I don't think Sheree sees them like that. I don't know if Sheree is just out for herself. I don't know if she's experienced a certain side of them that we haven't gotten to see. I don't know if, if there's just a distrust from her end, so she's keeping her distance. I don't know what it is, but I believe Sheree doesn't reciprocate the level of friendship and loyalty that Kandi and Kenya do for her. Because, like, Sheree will just, like, pointlessly shade Kandi and Kenya. And then, like, you catch them and they're, like, supportive of her, rooting for her, they're there for her, all these things. Like, remember how Kenya was there for Sheree with the whole Tyrone thing? Like, they were really, like, feeling for her. And, like, just Sheree just is such, like, she's not even, like, flip-flopping. She's just, like, I don't know if it's, I guess she's, like, kind of fake. Like, I don't know. But she doesn't take Kandi seriously. That's why she wanted to go walking and showed up in heels. Sheree brings up how Kandi was talking down on her business. And Kandi says she didn't shade her business. She just stated how the site crashed. And a lot of people experience that issue. So I don't see how Kandi is wrong for expressing what her customer experience was, right? And now Sheree wants to school Kandi on fashion drops and what the fashion industry is about and all this, right? Sheree, to me, seems like she just does shady business. She does. She does. She just comes off, she does shady business. Then the producers ate her up. I cannot wait till we get to the reunion. They ate her up, showing the side-by-side of She by Sheree and Shein. And I'm so glad they've been playing her ass, and they're going to show it at the reunion, and we're going to discuss it because I'm sick of her, like, swindling and lying. Like, it's insulting. It really is. Like, Sheree gets to tell bold-faced lies on camera, and then you blink and it's next season, and here we are doing something else. No! You're a liar. You do shady business. You don't pay people. Your business acumen is mediocre. And it's frustrating. I hate how she gets away with it, and then she's rewarded by being able to stay on this show. It's insulting. So I'm ready for you to get exposed, Sheree. Then Sheree compares her business mishaps to Kandi's, which, though it was a deflection from her own stuff, she still made some valid points that we've also heard regarding Candy's restaurants. Sheree says that even though she brought 12 people to Candy's restaurant, she had to wait 3 hours. The food was not up to par, all this and that. She didn't down her on the radio. And the critique about Candy's restaurants are a fair point, right? If we're being honest, right? And because those, like, I've heard those things, and that's why I'm not racing the OLG, because of what the reviews and what I've seen on the like the Candy show about with the restaurants. So I'm not running an OLG like I'm not running a She by Sheree. But Sheree, stay on topic. This is ultimately about your lack of a clothing line after anticipating it for 10 years. And every time Candy catches Sheree up, Sheree tries to tie it in to what the fashion standard is. That's how it is in fashion. Plenty of designers do this and that. Sheree, after the fashion show episode premiered last season, you didn't even have a working website by then. And then when you did have a working website, it crashed. And people weren't even able to buy anything. We didn't see good marketing. It was mediocre at best, and you had the help of the show. I didn't see, but maybe some of y'all did, anyone on social media wearing it. None of Sheree's famous friends. None of the IG models, you know, that are sponsored by She by Sheree to post and tell how great the product is. It was the most lackluster rollout ever. Everyone was disappointed, Sheree. Accept it. Stop making excuses for everything. Like, I literally stick beside Sheree if she were honest enough to just say, yes, I executed poorly because of, I don't know, time management, or the budget increases, or fabrics weren't what I wanted. I messed it up big time, but now the site is working. The items are all well stocked. Look at this. I brought you a cap by She by Sheree, so you can have your first item. Move on, right? But constantly defending your mediocrity when it's already been exposed is what's pitting me against you. Like, I seriously wouldn't be able to have the conversation that Candy's having with Sheree. I'm not one to convince the delusional. I'd end up upsetting myself. I'd get so upset. Like, Sheree is willfully ignorant. A beautiful fool. She was mediocre from season 1 and onward. And she used to try to throw these lavish events that were out of her budget, and there always was some big drama or error that occurred due to finances every single time. And all she does is point the finger and put it off on others. You know what I mean? She's never, ever came forth and said, you know what? I do owe this person money. There was my bookkeepers, accountants, or whoever made a blunder. I'm about to make good on my payment for the sake of salvaging my reputation. I'm sorry about that. Like, nothing. So nobody's wrong. Can't trust you. Can't trust you. And then, so Sheree's being sensitive about her broken website. That's equivalent to Kenya being mad at Sonya over the fake butt conversation. Kenya, we all know you have a fake butt. Just like we all know Sheree does bad business. Candy tells Sheree she understands Sheree being upset over her comments, and she apologizes for bringing it up to a public platform. Done. That's all it takes. It should really be that simple. And Sheree, you need to actually let it go. Don't argue about this on a reunion. There are more interesting things to discuss. I'm hoping they bring some more interesting topics this season. Candy and Todd are speaking about casting for their newest project. They're considering giving Drew an opportunity in the project. And I think that's so dope. Like, Candy will forever be really blessed because she continues to bless others. Like, even people who have crossed her, like, she has a very forgiving, as much as a grudge as she holds, she has a very forgiving, helpful spirit. And I think Candy is just she's the real blueprint for entrepreneurship, generational wealth, multiple incomes, and being just multi-talented. Like, she has it on lock. Like, they're really lucky to, like, be around Candy to share a space, a platform with her, because she's the real deal. Like, I definitely respect that about her. Drew's at her house with her mom. They're visiting, and she's prepping for her video shoot. Drew doesn't want her mom to come to the part of the shoot where she has to be sexy, and I don't blame her. I wouldn't want anyone there, not even my friends, watching me just do all this sexy stuff. Not even my mom. I mean, well, let alone my mom. So I'm saying I don't even want my friends there. It's now after production has wrapped for the scene, and Drew's sister Allison has finally arrived, right? Drew mentioned something, I think I don't know what, I forgot what was happening. I don't know if the flight was delayed, something was going on, but Drew did know that the sister would be late. And from what I remember, it was due to circumstances that weren't completely like Allison's fault, okay? Ralph has already gone to bed. I see why it's distasteful and unsupportive of him to not stay awake until she's arrived, right? But it also matters whether or not he had to be up early for something. Like, yes, you can obviously still make it work if Allison's arrival were important to him. But he also has the right to respect his time. But remember, Allison wasn't intentionally late. So I'm just on the middle. I'm in the middle on the issue. Ralph doesn't really rock with Allison, so his behavior seemed like it was just matching his feelings towards her. Like, whether right or wrong, he had the right to honor his time and not make sacrifices with his time and energy for someone he doesn't really care for or is not really feeling. And now it's up to Drew to decide if she wants to remain married to a man that won't prioritize peace among the family and showing up even when you are feeling away towards my sister. You see that I'm trying to reconcile things and bring us all together. So don't kind of go against that. You know what I mean? Like, we're married, work in tandem with me so we can get this family unit peaceful. So in the situation, everyone had a choice, right? I don't see a right or wrong for anyone. And we weren't there. So we don't know the full story about what went down between Allison and Ralph. We now get to Drew's video shoot. And I'm thinking, how many episodes are we going to spend on this one song that has 30,000 streams? Like, okay, after this video, that's it. Move on. Drew, what else do you have going on? Most of the ladies are there to support the video shoot and be in the roller skating scene. I don't know what they had Drew wearing. I think her stylist over executed, tried too hard. But overall, she did look good. Her body, her glam, her hair, they were all on point, and that counts. Allison and Ralph are speaking on the sides of the skating rink after the video wraps up, and they, are just, delving in the moment, feeling all the positivity. They share a hug, and Allison was emotional. That's when Ralph walked over to give her a hug and console her, and I thought that was amazing. And I think it truly showed a sweet, sensitive side of Ralph. He definitely came across empathetic in the moment. So Ralph gets a point for that. Marlo is off to her date. She calls Sonia on the way in and mentions how Sonia didn't come to check on her. Mind you, Sonia has been Marlo's largest cheerleader the entire season. Really, one of the two people that has thoroughly messed with Marlo the long way. But because she didn't call her grown 50-year-old behind before she's going on a date, it's an issue, okay? And it's that constant need of attention and time without providing it back. That's the problem for me when it comes to Marlo. I haven't seen Marlo be a good friend. I'm not saying she's a bad friend, but just like Sheree, I haven't seen Marlo do anything to go out of her way to be a good friend to anybody. Ever since she gave Nene that designer bag, Seasons back, out of her closet. That's the only, Marlo is an opportunist. I haven't seen Marlo do really anything genuinely. I don't even think she's handling her nephews and them on the show genuinely. Sonia tells Marlo she went to Drew's music video. Marlo didn't get an invite, so immediately she wants to hang up and call Drew. Drew picks up while she's shooting the video. Marlo gives this fake, y'all. They're going to tear Marlo up at the reunion. I hope so. Marlo gives Drew this fake congratulations and quickly reverts the conversation to her and her date as if her and Drew are cool, right? As if Marlo didn't scream Drew's head off with no accountability or apology after the fact. And I'm glad that Drew clocked it off rip and immediately required an apology. Marlo claimed she didn't know Drew was that upset, and, you know, she was just really downplaying the moment as it happened. And that's not cool. Like, you spoke to Drew like you lost your mind. You would not, just like she did with in Birmingham, where she slammed the door on Moneta. She's, oh, did I do that? Did I do that? I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like when people do that kind of stuff. If you're going to be the big bad wolf out here, you need to be able to stand 10 toes and, you know, stand on your actions and show up and be accountable to the people you love. Because what is it to be real and opinionated and direct and all that stuff if you just going to continue to go around hurting everybody? You're going to be real alone. I'm a very opinionated person. Like, if I'm attitudinal, if I maybe communicate something in a way that's a little snappy or whatever, like, I don't know, like, you bring that up to me, like, I'm gonna catch it. Because I don't know, like, I have a strong personality. Like, I don't want to offend people I love or care about. And I'm dang on shit, I'm about to slam no door and be like, well, if I slam a door, I'm gonna stand on that. Like, you know what I mean? If you're gonna do something, I can take that. But it's the stupidity that's an issue. Now that's an issue. The stupidity. If you're gonna be the big bad wolf, Marlo, be that. Drew, get over it, girl. You sensitive, blah blah blah. I know I yelled, but we all yell at each other. Like, I don't know, but like, I didn't know it was that big of a deal, girl. You went off for no reason, and Drew was the only one back even talking to you. But Marlo, of course, can't take the heat because Drew is calling her out, so she hangs up the phone. Marlo calls Drew fake, but it seems like it was Marlo who couldn't fake the funk of being the nice girl on this call anymore. Then Marlo starts going in on Drew, her friend, right? Simply because Drew is setting a boundary and a standard of how she wants to be treated. And that's not cool, Marlo. And I think Marlo's an Aquarius. And I'm an Aquarius. So you really misrepresented us. We could be a little aggressive. We have some strong personalities. But phony, grimy, disingenuous, no. I'm none of your kind. Is Marlo? I don't know. Never mind. Marlo walks into this date with Scotty. He's tall, dark, and handsome. It's his restaurant they're in. He gives her some beautiful roses. Could he be clout chasing by having this date in his restaurant? Because it seemed like he was advertising a lot. Like, Candy does it at her restaurant, but I don't know, she's a cast member. So I'm thinking, like, would Scotty go all out like this, you know, the way he did at the dinner, if it were another restaurant where you actually had to pay for the tab at the end and the cameras weren't present? I don't know. Like, I could see both sides. Like, I could see how, you know, I could see, you know, obviously on a restaurant so we can go to mine. But, like, for me, I'd want, like, a first date, especially blind date. Like, I want it a little more intimate. You know what I mean? Because, like, he's the owner. So, like, ain't no telling how many women he done brought up in there. You know what I mean? Like, I want something a little more specialized, a little more intimate. Me personally, for a first date. Personally. Immediately, I see they probably wouldn't be a great match. Scotty didn't seem to match what Marlo needs in a man's personality. Especially with the asking to suck the head of a prawn and all these sexual innuendos. Like, grow up. That's what I was thinking. But Marlo turns out to actually like him. She thinks they're compatible because they both been locked up before. But no funny stuff, no judgment. I do understand the connection you feel with someone who's experienced the same things you have, especially when they're like extreme or like criminal, right? Like, you been locked up, I've been locked went to jail overnight too. Like, oh my God. Like, I get it. Because it takes down that wall of like feeling judged. You know what I mean? Because in their instance, neither has a leg to stand on to judge the other for their criminal past. So I do understand how that could be, you know, a breath of fresh air for somebody. I do. We'll see. But I'm pretty sure that Scotty and Marlo are going to get nowhere at all. They didn't seem compatible to me. They just didn't. But that's where the episode ends. And I thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you in the next video. Please, please like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you think about the episode. What do you agree or disagree with? Am I being too hard on Sheree? Am I being too hard on Marlo? I don't know. Tell me. I want to know. Bye, y'all.